Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode right here at Mike's Mods and Customs. Today what I'm going to show you is the progress that we've made on my Rebuilder Camaro project here. So I've gotten it all taken apart, cleaned up, primered, and well, we're ready for some of the next steps, which I got to figure out what that's going to be. So let me get this camera moved around. I got a Christmas card channel sticker to show you. I'll get you over here closer to the bench. We'll see what's going on. There we are. That's a much better view. So let's get started with a little bit of a late Christmas card that we got. Merry Christmas from Jamie G. Scale Model Garage. Thank you, Jamie. We understand the delay in getting this to us as you came from Canada. So it definitely took a little while for it to get here once Canada's postal strike decided to be over. So yes, thank you very much, Jamie. That's going to go with my collection for sure, as well as this super awesome sticker. Look at that thing. That is just wild. So that's going to be made into a magnet for sure and be put with the rest of my stuff. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you very much. Wish the best of this 2025 for you and your family. So what we have here now is finally the separation of this glue bomb that I have spent several hours sanding and cleaning and getting it ready. This is its first couple of coats of primer, which as I look it over closer and closer, I'm thinking it's going to be okay. One thing I'm concerned about is I might need to get a hold of some new glass. I'm not sure if this glass is going to work. It's a bit rough. So I may have to approach that from a different avenue going forward. But that's all right. This is a practice. A practice glue bomb rebuilder. Because I have another one coming. But I got the chassis all cleaned up. The interior tub was very aggressively glued in place with, I'm going to say, some 1980s, maybe even 90s, who knows, Tester's orange tube glue. It was loaded in there quite well. So anyways, I got it all apart and got it cleaned up as good as I could. So I think the next steps are going to be doing some painting for sure. I know I want the interior to be black, so I think I may just go right ahead and start with some black painting of the interior, maybe charcoal carpet, put some flocking in there maybe. Let's see what I have for color for flocking. And yeah, so that's that. These are the wheels that are going to be put on it. So these are the factory wheels that I'm not going to use. I'll put these into the Bart's box for another project. These are the ones we're going to use. So these are definitely, obviously, 3D printed wheels and tires. They're not from any one particular manufacturer. These were actually purchased at a model show. So I found a proper piece of styrene, glued it into the back to have a stud, if you will. I'll trim that down to the size that I may need when I'm ready. And we're going to figure out how we're going to, I might just use this. I don't know. That'll fit in there for sure. So we just might use that. This is the factory engine that it looks like, yeah, it looks like the axle went through the oil pan setup. So might just use that to go back together. We'll see. Haven't decided yet. But I think next steps are going to be getting some of this stuff into some paint. Obviously, I have to glue these wheels into those tires. So anyways, not to bore you any longer, go ahead and get some of the painting done. And I'll check back with you when I get some color going on here. All right, and there we have it. The magic of YouTube. Magically 2 days later, we have some color. So very basic matte black chassis. Got that all ready to go. Did some detail work here on the rear drive axle and exhaust and suspension. Mainly some experimenting. The leaf springs and the drive shaft were painted in a Vallejo exhaust color. Yeah, I know, I didn't paint the exhaust in that color. So, but I was just looking for the, contrasting different colors. And the exhaust itself I did in gunmetal. And then just some aluminum color and flat black or matte black for the axle housing itself. That looks pretty good sitting in there. Just enough contrasting colors to be different. I may do some dry brushing to the undercarriage chassis stuff once I'm done, but we'll see. I may just leave it alone. And then the interior. The interior has many shades of black. Did some experimenting here as well. So I have gloss black here and here. I have a flat black center console and door panels. I had painted the carpet area in gunmetal, and then I later went over it with a light flocking contrast. So that's just another shade of gray, dark gray, black color. And I went ahead and did some minor detail on the gauges on the instrument clusters. It's kind of tricky to get in there because the steering wheel is part of all of the construction. I still yet have to get a shifter. I broke the shifter off in my deconstruction. But the seats, notice the seats are even a different shade of black. That's rubber black, the Tamiya lacquer rubber black. That's what color I did the seats, to have a little bit of a different contrasting color. Quite honestly, just experimental. I wanted to see what these colors look like. Not necessarily together, but I just wanted to see the differences. I'm kind of liking it. So anyways, I went ahead and I detailed up the engine some, just changed up some colors versus the all orange that it was. I painted the transmission in aluminum color. And I hit the oil pan with gunmetal, which I need to give it another coat and maybe clean up that blue spot right there. So nothing crazy there, just enough to change things up a little bit. The radiator core support / battery, I dry brushed in pretty heavy actually, some aluminum color paint for the radiator. And I hit the battery in that color for now. I'm going to go back and detail it up with some different colors before I'm done. And then the firewall in itself is, well, all kinds of colors going on in there actually to try to pull out some of those details. I'm just going to leave it the way that it is, I think. It's gunmetal, dry brushed with some aluminum color, and then I went over it all with a black wash to darken it up again. So just enough to look a little different. Again, just really a lot of experimenting going on here. And I got the wheels glued together, and the axles are, my little stub axles are all ready to go. Still got to do some more detail work to those tires, but making progress. Next up, I'm going to start doing some concentration on the body. I'm going to do some wet sanding, some scuffing, maybe another coat of primer. I went ahead and I glued on that lower section of the valance, so that could be glued on and painted the same as the rest of it. I have a plan to tape this rear valance bumper portion. I'm going to tape that from the inside, so when I paint it all, it's all going to get painted the same. And the same with the hood. I'm going to try to get the hood put into place when I do final painting, so it's all in one chunk. But that's for another day. So I'm going to let this stuff sit and dry. And that's going to wrap it up for my update here for the Camaro Rebuilder project. So until next time, thanks for hanging out here with me for another episode of Mike's Mods and Customs. And I'll catch you guys all on the next one.